with our first video today. Yoo-hoo.
First video, the first ever.
Yeah, and please continue breathing because otherwise it doesn't go well.
Very important for connection to Earth. And yourself.
Absolutely. So tell me more about yourself. What are we going to do today? About us, about you, about
everything. I was literally just thinking about what brought us here. How did this all happen? What brought us here? How did this all happen? And how do we get to share for the first time in our lives something online?
Absolutely.
And is pushing us to bring this online.
Wow. And what were your answers?
Well, I think first off, it's very insightful, honest, special connection that we two share.
Yes.
On so many different levels that...
Agreed.
It's hard to put in a minute. Yeah, well, potentially if you take a minute, but no, it's really that. I think in its core, it's that.
Yeah.
Special, honest connection that has... That's what I forgot. A lot of potential, I think. Because as we just realized earlier, working together the whole day, what brought us up until this point was only basically almost like a setup. It feels more like a setup for something that we're going to start now.
Yeah, we kick it off now, huh?
We kick it off. It's a kickoff, basically.
It's actually a kickoff.
It's actually a kickoff.
Yeah. Nice.
So that is that. And obviously, your positive influence in your help and support in my personal journey as well, that I've been through the last 2 years, which was quite a roller coaster, still is, in a positive way, positive roller coaster.
Now we go together in the roller coaster.
Now we go together in the roller coaster, and you had yours, and
I have mine definitely.
Many learnings, and I think this all put together, this connection that we had from the very first moment, and potentially I start there describing for everyone listening what that is, how that came together, why I think it's such a special moment. And then the journey that we took up until that moment, which feels now as a lifetime, but yet very short moment at the same time. It's so awkward.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And now this potential and this mutual agreement and feeling and consensus of working together and putting something forward that not only helps ourselves, but more so everyone around us, and to bring this to life. I think that's really it.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember now that you're talking about it, that you joined the office in Amsterdam.
Yes.
Because we were both working at Merck, and you joined the office, and we had immediately a connection, but we also agreed to be brother and sister.
Correct. Yes. We recognize ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. And with which co-worker do you have that? To stand there? Nobody.
And I think that was just like the first or the second time we met, or I can't remember. But
no, you know how that came together. Now I remember really. I was writing, we chatted. We were literally in the same office, but we were just chatting at that time. I was still in the former, just in the beginning of the office.
Yeah.
Came in, sitting there, totally overwhelmed with this team that had not, the manager before occupying the situation, the team, that position was already gone.
Yeah.
I didn't have a chance to have a handover with her whatsoever, just starting.
Yeah.
German guy in the Netherlands. I mean, it was just down the street from where my
family was. The nice German guy, right? The nice German guy.
That is how I was introduced. Every Dutch person would understand this now. I think really does understand. And I was writing in that chat something in Dutch, which was "Mijn liefs."
Yeah.
Mijn liefs. Apparently something that you only say to your partner.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know at that time. No. But I felt anyhow such a connection. And you told me then that you only tell this, it's my lover.
Be careful if you say that to your colleagues. Yeah.
Exactly. It's more like my lover or something, you know, my sweetheart, that you only say to your partner. And I just had the feeling, well, it fits either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow. So let's just leave it there and move on.
Exactly.
From there, and we really had that close connection from the very beginning.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
In very different setting. I remember you were still then the head of, and I was just the manager. So
true.
I still were looking up at that time anyhow.
Okay.
And how you came as well, and your presence in the office. That is something that, the presence amongst people, that is something that was really quite breathtaking. Even when the first time when we met in Berlin in a conference.
You're right. Yeah.
Where you stood out from literally everyone, and we were how many? Jesus, I think that was the million.
Don't make me blush now. Huh?
No, it was 1,000 people almost that were there.
Yeah, it was.
And there was one lady
meeting.
that stood out, and that was you. So
thank you very
those
much.
moments together, I think, were the really kickoff moments.
Great, very good.
That's how I remember.
No, really nice. I would say that's absolutely the same. I think everybody who knows you and who worked with us in the Amsterdam office knows the energy that you bring, and that you bring to me as well, and you helped me as well during last year, which was a tough year for me. And the cat is probably going to have a look at the video.
So everyone's seeing a cat now. No, you're not seeing animals.
It's mine.
It's supposed to be here. If you see other spirits, then you're on a different journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, welcome.
So yeah, we went through I would say a quite similar journey last year with both leaving Merck. Me at the beginning of the year, you more at the end of the year.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought that?
Who would have thought,
I would never have thought that.
No.
I was actually planning to stay and to continue my journey there.
Yeah.
But everything decided differently, and I'm so happy that I finally took that decision. And I think for you the same, because when we had a lunch together with some other colleagues as well, ex-colleagues, you had a strong message, and a couple of days later, weeks later, you were there.
Yeah.
So both of us now are in a new journey, and that's where we feel a lot of connection. So what is it that you would like to do as next steps? How do you see the next steps in your journey?
Exciting question, isn't it?
Yes, it's very, very much.
For everyone, I think for everyone, that's really the question. For everyone taking that step, this, call it really on a personal level, quantum leap. It's really that heavy of universal heaviness that you feel like I'm jumping into the unknown. And you brought to me that picture of this feeling, you're standing at a shore very deep. Imagine UK South Coast, this huge cliffs.
True, yeah.
Right? That partly you can find there. And you look down and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing now? I'm literally feeling like I'm about to fall. I don't know what's happening. And until you really take that step, you make that decision, you choose for yourself and you make that next step, you don't see the bridge that's right in front of you, bringing you to the next level, to the next shore, to the next country, to the next level, whatever you want to call it. You don't see it until you trust fully and take that next step.
Yeah.
And this is what you helped me on as well. And now I'm here.
There is a beautiful Dutch song, and it's talking about that, that edge, but the most beautiful flowers are growing there. You just dare to be afraid. And I think that's what we both have experienced very deeply. All our fears, anxieties last year, and they are still there.
Oh, yes.
They are still there from time to time.
Yeah.
I think both of us, we know better how to deal with that. So that's also something that we can both bring to people, to others, to get through this very, it's a heavy time, I would say. This is how I call it.
That's the biggest word, I think.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. Some people call it a crisis. Some people call it, whatever you want to call it, but it's really, really heavy.
Yeah.
But if you dare to be afraid, if you dare to feel this, then you see that bridge. I think you described it very nicely.
Yeah.
And then what's next?
Then what's next? Yeah, that's the biggest question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's next?
What do you want to do?